This is our third part in the series of Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. And now we just finished with our mission with Torres, and we kind of try to infiltrate in the Templar ranks and just to be part of that story and hopefully for Edward steal the treasure that we were looking for. But let's see. For right now, I think we'll go for exploring Havana and actually look for the codex in the pause menu and just see what we can do moving forward. Also, we want to. Oh, here's a dock. This is the first one. And actually, we want to see the controls because there are some controls that I want to see how they're working, especially for battle and combat and everything else. And then, as I said, explore a little bit of Havana and maybe move on with another mission. For now, let's go to the pause menu and see what we've got. So here is what we got for our weapons. So this is a new one. We got the pistol, the common pistol, a set of typical flintlock pistols found all across the West Indies. Range 20, draw speed 1. But because we had the ultimate edition, because I bought the ultimate edition, we can go along with the Dark Workers pistols, legendary pistol, hand-carved ebony with gold-plated iron forming a little union. Range 22 and draw speed 1.5. So, customize. Is there a way to customize? Not yet. Or no, there is nothing to customize here. Yeah, we will see what that does. For now, we will choose the better option for sure. And we're going to see what else do we have. Progress unlocked. So yet we don't have any pet. Nothing is unlocked. We have something new in the inventory, and that's wine training ship. This is the Templar ring, mark of a Templar given by Governor Torres, originally meant for the rogue assassin Duncan Walpole. Well, now we're not Duncan Walpole, but we're replacing him. And this is the curious schematic which contains a diagram of the armillary sphere of the observatory. We'll see. Probably we'll find that observatory moving on. But for now, let's see what else is in the codex. So we started with the database, and that's where we will continue. Let's go one by one. Yeah, we have allies. Steve Bonnet. So he seems to be our ally. We helped him. Hopefully, he will return our favor, maybe, or just to keep with a good company along the way. He's born 1688 in Barbados, died, he's still alive, so we don't know. Born into plenitude and wealth on the island of Barbados, Stede Bonnet seemed destined for a life of pleasure and ease. This son of a successful and influential plantation owner, his early life was marked by tragedy when his parents died suddenly, leaving 7-year-old Stede orphaned and in a perpetual state of melancholy. His inheritance of some 400 acres of land softened the blow caused by the loss of his parents. And by the time Steed was in the late teens, he had already restored the sugar plantation to a profitable state. He married young and set about starting a family as soon as possible. But owing to what some call the disorder of the mind, he never found solace or comfort in these domesticated trappings. To further complicate his unease, his firstborn son died in infancy, amplifying his grief and stirring his restlessness. As a means of coping, he dreamed of going to sea and sailing about the world, meeting people, living life as a man free of the obligations thrust upon him. When Bonnet's ship was apprehended by the British Navy on suspicion of piracy, he was rescued by the pirate Edward Kenway, who with help of Blackbeard and others eventually influenced the affable and impressionable merchant into going onto the account himself. Interesting, we'll see how that develops. Julien Ducasse, nephew of the buccaneer Jean Ducasse, Julien was born in Montpellier, France. He followed his uncle's example and took to sea at a young age, eventually joining him and a few skirmishers during the War for Spanish Succession, fighting on the side of the French and by proxy on behalf of King Philip of Spain. Duke Cassé's skills as a gunner improved rapidly even as he grew wildly disillusioned with the monarchy and its obsession with lineage and breeding over raw talent and skill. In 1704, ordered by his superior officers to join his uncle and hundreds of French troops in what would become known as the Battle of Valles-Malaga, Ducasse opted instead to desert his post and seek his fortunes in the New World. At first he threw in with slave traders in Africa, and for a year had made a modest profit of the venture, but he was never comfortable with the cruelty and detachment the job required, and so departed for the West Indies in search of yet another vocation. For the next 10 years, Ducasse roamed the West Indies as a hired gun, working for whomever had the coin and confidence to pay him, even prizing the value of intelligence and skill over mere reputation and breeding. Ducasse eventually found his way into the company of Laureano Torres of Cuba, in whom he found a friend and confidant. Okay, did we look for every one of our? Okay, Abel Brahma. Alvaro was captain of the Jacobite, a pirate brig operating in the Caribbean around 1714. He arrived in Nassau in January that year, when he gained the immediate dislike of the pirate Edward Thatch, who advised Edward Kenway against associating with him. In June of 1715, Brahma's ship was traveling past Cape Bonavista in western Cuba, with Kenway on crew, when it was attacked by the Royal Navy frigate HMS Intrigue. Despite demessing the British vessel during the battle, the Jacobites magazine was set alight. Before Brahma could order his crew to douse the flames, an assassin named Duncan Walpole, who had been passenger aboard the Intrigue, killed him. Abel Brahma was known to be a harsh and cruel man, fond of personally flogging his crew and marooning others, an act he called making a man a governor of his own island. Kenway later observed that nobody but his own mother was going to mourn our captain's passing. So he was a bit cruel guy, even for those times. So Bartholomew Roberts. So this is an important pirate in his own right at um, actually I think 1720s. So I watched some YouTube content on piracy, on real piracy, and he was a very successful pirate for that time and for a long period of time, and actually was then killed in a battle, in a ship battle, in a maritime battle by an English force. Um, and but due in his time, he was probably one of the most successful pirates, if not the first. Here in the story, he came out to know some things that are important to the Templars and to the Assassins for that matter. But let's see what we know for him, what is taught in this card. Originally hailing from Wales, little is known about John Roberts, the real name of the man who would come to be known as Black Bart after his death. Most assume he went to sea at a very young age, at 13 or so, but there is no record of him in any historical documents until his noted appearance in 1718, aboard the merchant ship Barbadian in origin. Just a year later, Roberts was pressed into piracy by the notorious Howell Davis, while working aboard the slave ship under Captain Abraham Plum. Though Roberts had likely not gone to sea with the intent of becoming a pirate, when the opportunity thrust itself upon him, Roberts was reported to have said, "A merry life and a short one shall be my motto." A few months later, Davis was killed in an ambush on the Portuguese island of Principe, and Roberts was unanimously elected to replace him. This was surely a testament to the man's natural charisma and leadership, for he had been a pirate only a few months. It was at this point he took the name Bartholomew, likely naming himself with the infamous Bartholomew Sharp, a pirate of some renown who had disappeared just 2 decades earlier. One of the most intelligent and strategic pirates of the Golden Age, Roberts was a sturdy man known to dress in fine clothes, handsome and carrying himself with a dignified but unpretentious air. He had dark hair to match his dark complexion, likely set from the almost 2 decades he had spent at sea. He often carried numerous pistols, each tied to one end of long silk sashes, which he kept slung over his shoulder. Robert's tactical ideas were usually radical, but thoughtfully considered. He never jumped into any scheme rashly, though his ideas seemed almost suicidal to those unacquainted with his methods. Ultimately responsible for the theft of around 400 ships in his 3-year career, he bested every other pirate of the era by a factor of 10 times or more. Although it must be said that at least half these boats were small periaguas and the like. So very important pirate of that time and important character in our game indeed. Duncan Walpole, second cousin to Robert Walpole, Britain's first Prime Minister. Duncan was raised in relative comfort and ease until his 18th birthday, whereupon he joined the British Royal Navy as a midshipman with dreams of becoming a full officer. His immoderate temper and his impulsiveness, however, stymied the swift ascension and he grew impatient with his progress. After 3 years, his interest in the Navy had dwindled to nothing. With his heart set on finding a post with the East India Company, he had a chance meeting with a fellow sailor whom he had come to respect and admire, and it was the sailor who introduced Walpole to the Assassin Order and all its teachings. Leary at first, Duncan soon took to the secret order with a favor and drive that he had none known in the Navy, and as his skills increased, so too did his reputation. But his temper and impulsiveness, coupled with a growing arrogance, were always a liability. He was known for his frequent clashes with the elders of the British Assassin Order. Still, he was a valuable asset to the order, so much so that in 1714 this mentor asked him to sail for the West Indies, rendezvous with the Brotherhood there, and met with their mentor Achtabai. Walpole accepted this position with eagerness and departed within the month. The assassins in England never heard from him again. Yes. Okay, that's Duncan Walpole. We read this one, Lores de Torres, Laureano Torres y Ayala. Born 1645 Cuba. Okay, so he's pretty senior brought here, 55 and 1570 years old. Born in Havana but raised in Madrid, Spain, Laureano was of noble stock, the son of Tomas Torres y Ayala and Elvira de Cuadros Castellanos. He joined the Spanish army in his late teens and was later appointed to the governor as the governor of Spain's territories in Florida, a post he held from 1693 to 1699. He then returned to Europe to participate in the War of the Spanish Succession. In 1708, Torres was appointed as the governor of Cuba, a post he held for 3 years until he was accused of and arrested for corruption. He was acquitted of these charges, however, and managed to win a re-election bid in 1713. During his time in Cuba, he made many lasting improvements to the city, fortifying the island's defenses and introducing the production of tobacco. He remained governor until 1716, after which point he retired and devoted his life to charitable functions, such as building hospitals. The Sage. Historic archives contain scattered references to individuals known as sages, but they are few and far between. Each citation seems to refer to a different person living in a vastly different time and location. The earliest example was found on a Sumerian clay tablet in cuneiform script, while the latest survives only as a footnote in one of Laureano Torres' own journals, dated January 1704. In all, according to exhaustive research, 7 different sages seem to have graced the world stage in the past 1200 years, but the real number is likely higher. Perhaps the strangest aspect connecting each of these various sightings is that, in every case, visual descriptions of each sage are remarkably similar, so similar in fact that one wouldn't be faulted for assuming they were talking about a single immortal man. However, in 2 of the 7 citations, explicitly mention is made of their death and burial. Is this therefore some bizarre form of reincarnation, or some simpler explanation that is presently unknown? More research is required. Woodes Rogers, 1679, England. Woodes Rogers was born into money to a seafaring family with deep roots in both Poole and Bristol, England. His early life was a picture of industriousness and ambition, and by the age of 18 he was an apprentice mariner. Upon his father's death at sea in 1706, Woods inheriting his family's prosperous shipping company, which he took to managing with great passion. Between 1704 and 1707, Roger's fortunes and family grew, and by the time he was 27, his marriage to Sarah Whitestone had produced one son and two daughters. By the end of 1707, however, his business had suffered great losses by raiding French forces, giving Rogers the idea to recoup these dreadful losses himself. Looking about Bristol in search of a partner for this endeavor, he soon found himself in the company of William Dampier, an old friend and unlucky captain who suggested setting out on a privateering expedition, one that would range far and wide above the New World. In 1708, Rogers made the necessary arrangements and set out as captain of his own vessel on a difficult voyage that would last over 3 years. Along his course, Rogers met with many success and failures. In 1709, off the western coast of South America, he found and rescued a maroon sailor by the name of Alexander Selkirk, a sailor who had spent nearly 4 years living in isolation and who would serve as the inspiration for the book Robinson Crusoe just a few years later. Soon after Selkirk's recovery, Rogers' fleet engaged an enemy vessel in open combat, a skirmish that earned him a pistol shot to the left side of his face and a mangled heel. Neither wound was enough to remove him from command, however, and he continued serving as captain until his return to England in late 1711. To commemorate this return, he had an operation to remove the offending bullet from his upper palate. Now in poor health but high spirits, Wood set about writing his memoirs. Upon their publication, they were an immediate success and proved a great source of income. But this brief glory was offset by the sudden death of his son, a tragedy compounded some months later by his wife's decision to leave him. Also at this time, Rogers was sued by former shipmates for allegedly hoarding goods and money plundered from enemy vessels. Rogers assembled a defense but lost the case. In 1713, itching to return to sea, he organized passage to Madagascar, claiming to be a merchant in the slave trade, but with the intended purpose of reconnoitering the rumored pirate colonies established there. When he arrived in Madagascar after months of hard sailing, he found that the legends of the pirate town Libertalia had been exaggerated 100-fold. The pirates in Madagascar were sickly and few and desperate for help. After spending just a few months there, Rogers set sail for England, a failure in his own mind. And yet never one to give up hope, Woodes Rogers reoriented his attention to the West Indies, eventually lobbying King George for a commission to hunt pirates in the Caribbean. On this score, he succeeded after a few diligent years of making his case. King George appointed Woodes Rogers as the governor of the Bahamas. Yes, now at last he would make his mark and bring justice to a land where chaos had taken root. Wow, such a character. Very interesting. So he was a character of a great story. So we have searched for all our enemies, for all our allies. Caroline Scott, our girlfriend or our wife? I'm not sure. We didn't read her, but we will do it a bit further in the game. Edward Kenway. Okay, so here's for Wales. To Bernard Kenway of Manchester and Len Hopkins of nearby Cardiff. So his father is from Manchester and his mother is from Cardiff. Half English, half Welsh. Okay, we will read this and his wife slash girlfriend, I'm not sure what, a bit later, or maybe she's a soon to be bride or whatever. Let's go to ships right now. HMS Intrigue, it was a frigate in His Majesty's Royal Navy. It was sunk in battle with the Jacobite of the coast of Cape Bonavista. Okay, the Revenge was a schooner owned by Stede Bonnet and was originally a merchant ship used to transport crates of sugar from Bonnet's sugar plantation barrels to Havana. Frigate. The frigate was a class of warship bearing 3 masts and among the most well-armed in operation throughout the Caribbean, shy of the greater men-of-war. Fauna. So we haven't. So yet. So these are all the fauna that we will see further in the story. So it's pretty much a lot of animals, to be honest. Manta ray. So we have a lot of sea fish and other creatures, which is interesting. Jellyfish, clown triggerfish, sea urchin, manta ray, giant squid, tiger shark. Here is a bird, frigate bird. Interesting. Booby. Yeah. Tropic bird, booby, pelican, seagull, great blue heron, dolphin, turtle, eagle, chicken, parrot, farm pig, duck, kettle, flamingo, humpback whale, killer whale, bull shark, great white shark, hammerhead shark, red howling monkey, yet to be seen, white jaguar as well, crocodile as well, black jaguar, howler monkey, yes, we haven't seen one, wild pig, we haven't seen one, ocelot, we haven't seen one, deer as well, hutia are most commonly found in Cayman Sound and Long Bay, iguana, capuchin monkey, and rabbit. Wow, a lot of fauna. Artifacts. Let's see, glass cube. This is the one that we retrieved from Duncan Walpole. Captain's order: secure all seized items within the second floor storeroom. Once I have completed my duties at Gallows on the northern docks, I myself will bring the buyer to the Castillo. Failure to comply in a timely manner will result in the most serious consequences. By order, Captain Mendoza. So this was regarding the goods that were seized. Curious schematic containing a diagram of the armillary sphere at the observatory. Can we open this? No. So this is the one that will be interesting to be seeing. Templar ring, mark of a Templar given by Governor Torres, originally meant for the rogue assassin Duncan Walpole. Well, we got it now. Portraits, a lot of undiscovered items, art collection as well. What do we have? Art collection, ship models. So we have the Revenge, a miniature ship model of the Revenge. Okay, that's it. Shanties. So let's see. Okay, so a lot of shanties. I think we will listen this some of this for the game, and I believe there are some to be found and to be collected while playing. We will search around Havana. We'll see what we can do. Um, okay, database tutorials. So this is very important. Super important. We have to see everything that we have. Exploration, observe. Use L2 to observe your surroundings, highlight loot, and objective information. Mhm. Observing and centering your camera. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Stealth, hide from enemies to avoid detection. Okay, this is well known. When you crouch, you can find and use R3 Eagle Vision. Press R3 for Eagle Vision. Okay, Eagle Vision. Yes, press R3 to activate Eagle Vision, which will highlight key inverted feature in your vicinity. Super important. Assassination allows you to instantly kill an unaware enemy and can be performed in many different scenarios. Assassinate enemies from behind them, from cover and around corners. You can even do a sprint assassination while Alt 3 sprinting. Yeah, this is very cool. So sometimes if we are very in front of the target, we can sprint and do it like that. Combat basics. So yeah, let's review this part. I think this is a very important part to review it once more so we can continue with the game and be a little bit more confident. So attacked R1. So we attack with R1. Once the face is broken, the enemy is vulnerable to Hidden Blade. L1 is for parry. Okay. Dodge is uh, on circle. Or press double circle to roll further away. Okay. Volt. When surrounded, push the left uh, joystick towards a nearby enemy and circle to vault over them. Okay. So you can escape when you're surrounded by several enemies. Lock on R3 to lock on an enemy. Okay. Use the R to cycle through targets. Okay. Adaptive enemies. Enemies adapt to Edward's attack pattern quickly. Using the same move over and over again will result in enemy using counterattacks, dodges, or Countermeasures. Okay, so this is adaptive and it's moving, so that's important. So it's not linear. Swords. Edward wields a pair of matching swords in battle, exploring the world to find more powerful swords that match your preferred playstyle. Better swords increase the amount of chain takedowns and after a perfect parry. Okay, pistols. Pistols are powerful firearms that can quickly eliminate enemies. Hold Alt2 to activate free aim mode. Okay, so hold Alt2 and R2 to shoot the targeted character. Successfully shooting at an enemy's head is lethal. Pistol can also be used to interrupt enemy actions and stagger them with R2 plus triangle. So R2 plus triangle. No, sorry. R2 plus triangle is a quick fire. Okay, you can craft a new pistol holster and fire up to 4 pistols in quick succession by pressing R2 plus triangle repeatedly. Each pistol needs to be L2 plus triangle reloaded after being fired. Okay, so it has to be reloaded, but we'll see how much ammunition we have and all of that. Smoke bombs. Create thick smoke screens that desert enemies and cause them to lose sight of you. Drop one to escape a fight that isn't going your way. So just to create thick smoke where they won't see us and we can just assassinate anyone in that smoke. Equipment perks. Perks confer various enhancements that improve your combat, resources gathering, and other abilities. A perk can be found on each weapon of legendary quality and each trinket. You will receive the benefit described on the item's perk for as long as you have the item equipped, okay? So we're good for now. We will go and explore a little bit of Havana and then come back to the Codex again. We have some other stuff to look for. And yeah, we have a little bit more of the... So here we are done. Database, tutorials, we are done. We'll have to see naval again, just for in any case. And then, yes, we can see the world of piracy. Here is some lore, some groups, and some locations, but that a little bit going moving forward. So now let's go back to the game. Let's explore a bit of Havana, and yeah. So let's pet the dog.
You're a feisty one.
First thing first, we will buy something that we are missing. So elixir, that's very important. Let's find a shop, a general shop. Okay, so that's a weapons shop. I don't know if... Let's see what can we buy for here. I think we can buy from here just weapons. We cannot buy
So, what have you
elixirs.
been eating?
Or no? Can we? Aha, bullet. Okay, ammunition. I think we need this. So when the thing that yes, so we need this. What is this? Restore Edward's health press. Yeah, remedy. Okay, perfect. Yes. And smoke bomb. Maximum. We have all of them. We don't need pistol. We don't need. We have actually another cloak, which is from the Ultimate Edition, but we will use it a little bit further on the line. For now, cargo trade goods. So now we can sell actually some of this, which is great. We can earn some money. Yeah, it's not bad. Sell all. Let's see what we can do with the vine. Yeah, sell all. Yeah, very good.
Our pleasure. See you next time.
Okay, That's what I wanted to see. Now let's take this synchronization point, so we can actually move on from here. I think we'll be able to catch from here and go up. Maybe there's something here to. Let's see. Okay, so there is nothing to be. Okay, let's go up. Go up, go up. Ammunition full. Let's see. Okay, I'm just checking how we can actually. Okay, no. This is a bit okay annoying. Okay, I think now we're on the right track. Okay, perfect. We're going up, 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 up. Yeah, another synchronization point. Another church, and this is the largest one actually. And I suspect there is something in this church. I don't know why, but I think there is something to be found. Or yeah, we'll go a little bit on the roof and go from there. Just take it on the right side and just move inside. Yeah, 3 out of 9 viewpoints. Okay, I think yeah, here we can just. Yes, that's what I imagined. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, there's something there. Ah, here's a cat.
Come here,
Okay,
you.
let's pet the cat. It's so sweet. Um, so right now I'm thinking, yeah, here. Okay, we have a chest here. Remedy is full. All the rest is full. Um, okay, so we had a chest, so that's important. Let's see if something else is here. There is a zip line. Yeah, so let's move from here. Ah, okay. So there is a. We can. Where did it go? So shit. Okay, we got one. In Mirage, you should have followed in order to get a song. You should have chased it actually. I think here we just got it. We didn't have to chase for it, but oh, this is so yeah. I saw that this is something important. So having um, this many soldiers, it means that it's important. But we'll go to that synchronization point now. I think we were here actually, or no? No, we weren't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we just go up, 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 to the right, up, triangle. Yes, it's pretty nice fortified. Look at this. Like you have the whole fortification in the water. It's basically like nowhere in. Interesting. Yeah, another church. So this is the third church I think that we found. Yeah, there is the one just straight. Here is another one. This is, yeah, this is the third church. A lot of churches for for this small space. Take a leap of faith and just move around Havana. Now we'll go for the. Let's see what this guy can do for us.
Highly trade with ship captains.
We're still not ship captains, so that's going to be further in the story. For now, nothing. And let's see in the map what do we have actually. Main quest log. Okay, press from the map to access a list of full quests and contracts in progress. The map will jump directly to the chosen quest location. Okay. So I'm thinking, did we arrive here? Yes, I think we arrived here. This is where we arrived, right? Yes, this is where we. Yes, here was the. Here is how we escaped, left, right to the sea, and this is how we have come to Havana. But for now, let's explore Havana a little bit more. So where we are, we don't need the quest log for now. Let's see what we can find here. So we have one chest. Let's go for this chest. Let's place. Yes, let's place a marker like this. Let's find this chest. Move around. Maybe go to this place again. Actually, this is another place. Just search it, and yeah, see what else is here. Go for this shanty further on, and maybe go then for the story. We'll see. What else do we have here in Havana? So we have the stories. Yes, we have the tavern. Here is our objective, I believe. Or no? What is this? Dragonflyer expand like hide and report. Dragonfire one. Um. Oh, this is. I don't know what's this. This. I don't know. Is this someone playing? Someone else? Okay. I'm not super familiar. What is this? Treasure map. Collect treasure map. Okay, this will be some side quests. These are funny. And this is where our main quest is going further, but for now let's look for this chest. Let's try to find it. And then move forward. And this is actually pretty close. So this is pretty well. Let's hope. What's this? 7 meters. Is it down? Yeah, this seems to be down. Aha. So we have here. Okay, so we'll have to deal with these guys actually. Okay. Yes. Um, guys, actually, yeah.